Hello, and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Dr. Alison Chiwara. I'm the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company that is truly all about creating happier and healthier people all around. There is a subtle tension many high capacity individuals live with, and we rarely call it out. And tension between I want to explain. It's like tension between being needed or being true to yourself. Today, I want to step into space through the lens of sociotropy and what it means for your self-awareness, your growth, your purpose, and of course, your place in what I would call the kindness economy today. Now, I want us to take a deep breath like we always do. In and out. Now, welcome back to our podcast. I want to ask you, or rather, I will ask you to ask yourself, do I make decisions based on who I am or how I am actually received? No judgment, just only your true self-awareness. Be honest with yourself. Do you make decisions based on who you are or how other people receive you? I want us to lean into a little bit of human truth. I want to talk about what is sociotropy. In psychology and sociological terms, sociotropy refers to a personal connection or orientation where a person perhaps places a high value on relationships, approvals, belonging, and social harmony. And I know this resonates with a lot of people within the impact economy. It's not weakness, no, neither is it dysfunction. I'm not here to call it out. It's very human and deeply human. And from a neuroscience perspective, our brains, like I always say, are wired for connection. The same neural pathways that process physical pain also process social rejection. So do you see why we may lean towards placing high value on approvals, belonging, and social equalness or harmony? So when you seek approval and you just adjust yourself to fit in, when you overextend to maintain peace, a lot of us fall here. Your brain is not failing you. No, it's not. It's perfectly protecting you. And I say perfectly because that's what it's meant to do. But here's where the shift actually is. That once protection or once you're protected, you can then begin to limit you. So that protection begins to limit you. It's the little danger spot here. And there's a line, a very fine one, between connection and self-abandonment on who you are, who you need to be. And many people, especially leaders, caregivers, cross that line without even realizing it, because you become the reliable one. You become the one that is always agreeable, if that makes sense. You become the one who keeps the room comfortable. I have fallen short of this many times. And yet inside, you're often feeling a somewhat quiet erosion, shall I call it, because every time that you silence your truth to maintain those approvals from outside, you are sending a message to your nervous system, a dangerous one, that says, my authenticity is not safe. The who that I am is not safe. Over time, this creates conflict within yourself, internal conflict, as we may call it. Your external life may look successful, may look wonderful, but internally, you feel so fragmented, extremely fragmented. But I want to go a little deeper here. You see, your brain is constantly running two parallels. Yes, hear me out. For those in leadership, those in seats of responsibility, those that have walked through those doors that were once shut. And now you have to make decisions not just for you, but for the people that you represent. So let's go back to those two parallels. There's the social brain and there's the executive brain. But let me break it down a little bit. So your social brain is the one that is scanning for acceptance, it's scanning for safety, it's scanning for belonging. Then there's the executive brain, the one that is responsible for making decisions for yourself, for others, once you're in those rooms. The long-term goals, your identity sits within the executive brain. At the tables where decisions are being made. When sociotropy dominates, the social brain overrides the executive brain. Do you see where we are now? You are constantly looking for acceptance. You are constantly scanning the place for, am I feeling safe? How do I make myself safe? How do I make myself belong in this table, at this table, in this room, at this board? Instead of using your brain that is responsible, the part that is responsible for you making sound decisions, for you helping make long-term goals that can progress your company, your organization, or your home further. I hope I'm speaking to somebody today. When this override happens, you start making decisions that prioritize immediate acceptance over the long-term things. You say yes when really what you want to say or want to scream out is no. You start to minimize yourself, shutting yourself down instead of speaking out or expanding yourself so that you grow in that position that you're in. So that effectively starts to delay your growth. Remember, I spoke at the very beginning of these podcasts when I said success and discomfort and comfort, I beg your pardon, don't sit in the same room or in the same boardroom. In order for you to really grow, you must stretch yourself. And it's uncomfortable, right? When we stretch ourselves, just imagine elastic being stretched. This is the point when we are using our social brain over our executive brain, we are limiting something. But there's no harm in using both. But it's when the other overrides the other consistently and constantly, we are going into a danger zone. What that means is your potential becomes negotiated. You see, philosophically, this is not new either. Think of the question that has sounded itself or honed itself for many years. What does it mean to live truthfully? To be liked or to be real? To belong or to be the outsider? There's a cost to both, you see. But one costs you comfort, the other costs your identity. And the deepest form of self-awareness is recognizing that you were not meant to be endlessly, or you're not humans are not meant to be endlessly agreeable at all times. You have to find a point of integration where you become whole and where you become, shall I say, steady on your feet. Now, let's bring this into our professional lives, because sociotropy often hides very well in high-performing environments. You become the one who never challenges decisions. You become the one who is appreciated but not advanced because you stay where you are. You become the one who over-delivers but is under-positioned. Are you with me here? Why? Because growth requires visibility. You see? And visibility often disrupts comfort, often than not. And at some point, your career and your growth will ask you, are you here to be accepted, or are we here to make impact? And those parts are not always the same. Professional growth demands that you shift from pleasing to positioning, from approval to authority. It can be hard, but that is what growth asks of us. Now, here's where this conversation kind of evolves, I guess, because we are in what I call, or what I've heard called a kindness economy, a world where emotional intelligence is currency. And I've spoken about this many times, where authenticity builds trust, yes, where human-centered leadership drives value. But I want to be very clear here. Kindness, yes, kindness is not pleasing people or people pleasing. Yes, do please people, but don't be a people pleaser all the time. Kindness without self-awareness does something. It depletes you. Kindness without having boundaries for yourself, never mind for anybody else, becomes exploitation that you lay upon self. True kindness says you must have self-honor first. It says, I will treat you with respect without abandoning myself in the process of me doing what I'm doing. And that, right there, that is very powerful. Very, very powerful self-honor. So what does it look like to honor yourself daily? It's quite an internal piece of work. Because what that sounds like is I can disappoint others and still be a good person. It's hard to hear, right? You can still disappoint other people and you still be a good person. And also saying, I can choose me. I can choose Alison. I can choose myself without rejecting others. Because there's times where you have to put yourself first, so that others can come in and drink from your well later. I hope I'm speaking to somebody today. It's saying I can grow even if it changes how I am perceived. Sometimes we have to be aggressive about our own growth. But when I say aggressive, don't do it at the detriment of others. Are you with me? And this is the recalibration point, where your identity is no longer outsourced to external validation, but truly it becomes an internal work. It is about you saying, I can choose me. I can grow without other people judging me or changing the way that other people perceive me. It will not change because I am growing, giving yourself permission to grow without expecting external validation. I hope you hear me, and I hope this is landing with somebody. I want to bring this home a little bit. There are simple things, but very powerful practices that I've learned over the years, maybe more recently actually, for those that know me, is pausing before saying yes. It gives you space to decide whether you're using your social brain or you're going to use your executive part of your brain. It gives you time to say, is this aligned to where I'm headed, or is it just comfortable for me to say yes right now? Also practicing noticing where you feel tension in your body when you suppress your truth. You just know it. Like, I've said yes, but that yes was supposed to be a no. And create one boundary each week and honor it. I did something this week. I was running a little out of steam. And I was supposed to be spending time with my sister in Kosovo. And I said, I will not respond. I will not answer calls. I will not attend to emails. Because right now, it's my me time. There were people that were calling me. And I felt like I was disappointing them. But I said, I'm not disappointing them. I'm not. I'm still a good person. I'm disappointing them because this moment is for me. I was choosing myself. And yes, I was maybe rejecting others in that hour, in that moment, in that weekend. But I was choosing myself. And these are not small things. They are neurological rewiring. This is where the identity work begins. And I always say identity work is very hard. It's easier said than done, right? You see, the stuff, when we speak truth, that you would normally sweep under the carpet, it releases you. It gives you freedom. You realize your truth is more important than saying a yes that you cannot commit to. I want to return back to the question we began with. It makes you empathetic. It's what made you empathetic, perhaps. It's made you aware. But now you must revolve, or you must evolve. It must evolve into something so much more deeper. Into self-leadership, self-honoring, into self-awareness. Does this make sense? Because the world does not just need a number of agreeable people. We need to align ourselves with people who can be kind without losing themselves. You need to be one of these people who can build without breaking internally. A lot of us startups are building and breaking and rebuilding and cracking. And by the time we realize whether this is worth doing or not, we are completely shattered. I beg you to change. I want you to belong without disappearing. I want you to fit in without readjusting or re-identifying yourself. So I ask you to ask yourself, where have I been choosing approval over my own purpose? What would it look like to just honor myself, even for one day, even for 1 week, just once, without apologizing, without explaining, and without feeling shifty with myself? Who do I become when I stop negotiating my own real truth and living my truth, like my daughter always says? Live your truth, mommy. I want us to take a deep breath. You are allowed to be both, to be connected and centered, to be kind and really clear with yourself. You're allowed to be present for others and loyal to yourself in the same breath. And that is where your true power begins. When you begin to practice self-honoring. Self-led, self-honoring comes naturally. I hope this has landed with somebody. Are you going to want to be liked, or do you want to be real? That is the question I leave with you. Or do you want to belong, or do you want to be you? And there's a cost to both. One will cost you your identity, and the other will cost you your comfort. From me to you, it's goodbye for now. From Human Focus Limited to your organization, it's goodbye until next time. Ciao for now.